I died, choking on my own blood. The metallic tang flooding my mouth as my brothers' faces blurred into smug silhouettes against the sterile hospital lights.
Eva.
Always the dramatic one, Jake had sneered, his voice echoing like a bad joke while he signed the DNR papers that sealed Mom's fate and mine, when I lunged at him in blind rage. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my body 3 years earlier. Heart pounding in the cramped Seattle apartment I'd shared with Mom before the cancer diagnosis turned our world to shit. The first breath hit like a freight train. I bolted upright in bed, sheets tangled around my legs, the familiar creak of the old radiator hissing in the corner. My hands flew to my throat, no bruises, no phantom ache from where Tyler had shoved me against the wall that final night. The clock on the nightstand glowed, 2:17 a.m., July 15th, 2022. 3 years. 3 fucking years before the hospital room where Mom whispered her last ragged breath, abandoned by the sons who'd sworn to care for her. I stumbled to the bathroom mirror, staring at the reflection of a 25-year-old me, eyes wide, cheeks flushed, not the hollowed-out ghost I'd become. Holy shit, I gasped, my voice cracking. This was real. I'd clawed my way back from the void, armed with every secret, every betrayal etched into my soul like acid. Mom was still alive in this timeline. Her frail form curled in the living room recliner, the chemo drip stand a silent sentinel by her side. I crept out, barefoot on the threadbare carpet, and knelt beside her. She stirred, her papery hand finding mine. Eva? Honey, what's wrong? Her voice was a whisper, but it was there, warm, unbroken. Tears burned my eyes as the memories crashed in, how Jake and Tyler, my golden boy brothers, had forgotten her appointments, drained her savings for their startup bullshit, then left her rotting in that hospice bed while they jetted off to Vegas for a business trip. I'd fought them tooth and nail, screaming in boardrooms and family meetings, but they painted me as the unstable one, the bitter sister. And when Mom's final letter arrived posthumously, mailed to me alone, revealing their forged will that cut her out entirely, I'd confronted them. That's when Tyler's fist met my face, and Jake's indifference let the darkness swallow me. Not this time. This time, I'd burn their empire before it rose. But revenge isn't a straight shot, it's a minefield. And the first bomb was detonating right in my chest. Mom's eyes fluttered open fully now, concern etching deeper lines into her face. Bad dream. Baby, I forced a smile, swallowing the bile of what I knew was coming.
Yeah, Ma.
Just a dream. But as I tucked the blanket around her, my mind raced. Jake was already sniffing around her assets, playing the dutiful son with his tech bro charm. Tyler, the family lawyer, was drafting estate plans that would leave her penniless. I had to play it smart, act the part of the dutiful daughter while gathering dirt. No rash moves. No alerting them that I knew. The next morning hit like a hangover from hell. Seattle's perpetual drizzle smeared the kitchen window as I brewed coffee, the scent grounding me in this fragile second chance. Mom shuffled in, her robe hanging loose on her frame, and I plated eggs with a steadiness I didn't feel. You look like you've seen a ghost, Eva, she said, sipping her tea. I laughed it off, too sharp, too forced, but inside, I was cataloging every detail. The calendar on the fridge marked her next chemo in 2 days. In the old timeline, Jake had rescheduled it for a golf outing with investors.
Bastard.
My phone buzzed, a text from Jake.
Hey sis.
Brunch at the Pike Place spot, bringing Tyler. Family meeting, mom's finances. My stomach twisted. This was it, the first thread they pulled. I typed back, sounds good. See you at 11. Time to test the waters. Pike Place market buzzed with tourists. The air thick with fishmongers' shouts and the yeasty tang of fresh bread. I spotted them at our usual table overlooking the waterfront, Jake in his crisp button-down, all Silicon Valley polish. Tyler nursing a mimosa with that predatory lawyer gleam. They rose to hug me, but I held back just enough to make it awkward.
Eva.
You look rested, Jake said, his smile not reaching his eyes. Tyler chuckled. Yeah. No dark circles. What's your secret? We ordered avocado toast for me, eggs Benedict for them, and Dovin. So, about Mom, Jake started, leaning forward like he gave a damn. Her treatments are racking up. We need to talk long-term planning. Tyler nodded, sliding a folder across the table. Power of attorney.
Trusts.
It's standard.
Ev.
We're protecting her. Protecting her? I flipped open the folder, scanning the legalese. There it was, clauses funneling her savings into a family venture fund, their startup. Apex Innovations. A shady app promising to revolutionize elder care while bleeding families dry. In the old life, I'd signed off, trusting them. Stupid. This looks like it's protecting your asses more than hers, I said, voice level but edged. They exchanged glances, Jake's feigned hurt, Tyler's flash of irritation. Come on,
Eva.
Always so cynical. We're family.
Family.
The word soured on my tongue. I remembered the hospice call at 3 a.m., Mom's voice. Weak as a thread. Begging me to come because your brothers said they'd handle it. They hadn't. They'd been at a strip club, celebrating their first seed round. And me, I'd raced across town, only to find her alone. Monitors beeping in the empty room. I just want you to know, she gasped, pressing the envelope into my hand. They're not who you think. Then she was gone. And I was unraveling. Back at the table, I closed the folder. I'll review it. But we're not signing anything until I talk to Mom. Tyler's jaw tightened. She's not in a state to. She's lucid enough. I cut in. And last I checked, I'm her healthcare proxy. Jake smoothed it over with charm. Of course.
Sis.
Just looking out. But as we parted, his parting squeeze on my arm lingered too long, a warning. That night, alone in my room, I tore into research. Laptop glowing in the dark. I hacked together what I could from public records. Nothing fancy. Just enough to trace Apex's shell companies. Buried in state filings, Tyler's name on offshore accounts. Jake's emails leaked in a minor data breach, hinting at investor fraud. It wasn't airtight, but it was a start. Then, the real gut punch, Mom's old journal, tucked under her mattress like a guilty secret. I'd found it too late last time.
Now.
Flipping through yellowed pages. Her elegant script spilled truths I'd never imagined. March 2019, the boys asked for money again. Jake's idea sounds risky. Some app that tracks family debts? I said no. But Tyler guilted me. Family first,
He said. God.
What have I done? Deeper in, Eva's so strong. But she idolizes them. If she knew about the accident. My heart stuttered. What accident? Pages tore under my fingers, entries about a car crash 5 years back. The one that killed their dad.
It wasn't just drunk driving.
Jake was behind the wheel, high on something. Tyler covered it up, paid off the cops. I took the blame for letting him drive.
But it was them.
My boys. My fault for raising monsters. The room spun. Dad's death, our family's sacred wound, had been murder by negligence, swept under the rug with lies and bribes. Mom had carried it alone, protecting them. And I'd bought the story hook,
Line
and sinker, defending my brothers like a fool. Rage boiled, hot and clarifying. This was the secret, the chasm of betrayal that explained everything. They'd kill for it, had nearly killed me for less. By dawn, a plan crystallized. Step 1, isolate them from Mom. Step 2, leak the journal anonymously to their investors. Step 3, force a confession. Record it all. But as I slipped the journal back, Mom's voice from the hall, "Eva? Can't sleep." I froze. Telling her now would shatter her. No, this was my war. Hers was to live. Days blurred into a tense standoff. I canceled appointments they booked, drove her to chemo myself, watched her color return fractionally. Jake called daily. Charm cracking. "Eva, you're being paranoid." Tyler emailed threats veiled as legalese. Interfering with family decisions could have consequences. I saved every word, building my arsenal. Then came the first real fracture. A board meeting at their co-working space in Belltown, sleek glass walls, ping-pong tables mocking the seriousness. They dragged me there under pretense of reconciling. Inside, investors milled, venture capitalists in hoodies, sipping kombucha. Jake pitched Apex with flair, empowering families through transparency. Bullshit. I sat in the back, laptop open, fingers hovering over send on an anonymous email with journal scans. As applause died, Tyler cornered me in the hall. "What the hell are you doing?" "Ev, Mom's money is ours by right." His breath reeked of scotch midday. "Right? Like Dad's life was yours to steal." The words slipped out, venomous.
His face drained.
"What did she tell you?" I leaned in, whispering, "Everything." Panic flickered, pure, animal. He grabbed my wrist, hard enough to bruise. "You breathe a word, and you're done. All of you." I wrenched free, heart hammering, but walked out tall. That night, the email went live. By morning, Apex's funding round imploded, investors pulling out like rats from a fire. Jake's frantic call, "Eva, what did you do?" I hung up, tasting victory's ash. But revenge's high is fleeting. Mom noticed the shadows under my eyes, the way I jumped at doors. "Talk to me, baby," she urged over soup. I almost broke, spilled the journal. The crash. Their rot. Instead, "Just worried about you." Lies. Stacking like bricks. The escalation hit 2 weeks later. Tyler's PI dug up dirt on me. Old college party photos. Twisted into instability. Jake confronted Mom alone while I was at work. Sobbing crocodile tears. Eva's unhinged.
Ma.
She's sabotaging us. I raced home to find her pale,
Clutching her chest.
They said, "You hate them." My blood iced.
Ma.
"Listen, they killed Dad." Covered it up. The words tumbled. Journal thrust into her hands. She read in silence, tears carving rivers down her cheeks. Then, softly, I knew you'd find out eventually. But, Eva, there's more. You were in the car too. That night.
You saw
But blocked it out. The world tilted.
me?
In the crash, fragments surfaced, screaming tires. Jake's laughter turning to horror. My head cracking the window. I'd repressed it all. The guilt of surviving while Dad didn't. Twist of the knife. I'd enabled them by forgetting. My silence had let them thrive. Mom pulled me close. Forgive yourself, honey. Now fight for us. Her words ignited the final fuse. Guilt was a motherfucker. Sharper than any blade Tyler could have swung. Waking up that next morning in our cramped apartment, the weight of that repressed memory pressed down like Seattle's endless gray sky. I'd been 20, home from college for the weekend, buzzed on cheap beer and Jake's promises of a family adventure.
Dad.
Ever the soft touch. Had piled us into the SUV for a late-night drive to the coast, impromptu. Stupid. Jake at the wheel. Tyler's shotgun. Me and Mom in back with Dad humming off-key to Springsteen. Then the swerve. Jake's eyes glassy from whatever pill he'd popped. Tyler hissing. Straighten up. Idiot. The guardrail. The crunch. Dad's head snapping forward. I'd blacked out screaming. Woke in the hospital with minor concussion, and the story cemented. Dad drunk. Tragic accident. But Mom's journal cracked it open. I'd seen Jake swap the flask. Heard Tyler coach the cops on witness statements. And I'd nodded along. Too shell-shocked to contradict.
Now.
At 25 again. That complicity clawed at me. How many times had I defended them? Laughed off Jake's wild nights, covered for Tyler's shady clients? It made my revenge feel tainted. Like I was punishing them for sins I'd half committed. But fuck that. Knowledge was power. And I wielded it like a loaded gun. Apex was crumbling. News trickled in via Jake's voicemails, investors ghosting, board demanding audits. He showed up at the apartment unannounced, rain-soaked and wild-eyed, pounding the door at 7 p.m. Mom was napping. I met him in the hall, blocking his path. Eva,
Please.
this is insane. Who sent those emails? His voice cracked, genuine fear under the bluster. Good. Karma.
Jake.
Or maybe justice. He lunged, grabbing my shoulders. You bitch. Dad would have wanted us together. I shoved him back, hissing. Dad would have wanted not to be murdered by his own son. The hallway echoed with his curses as he stormed out. But the seed was planted, doubt in his allies. Tyler was next, slithering in via text, meet me. Neutral ground. Or I go to Mom with your history. My history. The buried crash details, twisted to make me the unreliable narrator. We met at a dive bar in Capitol Hill. Neon buzzing over sticky tables. He slid into the booth. Suit rumpled. Scotch already half gone.
Eva.
Let's cut the crap. What do you want? Money? A cut of Apex. I sipped my soda. Steady. The truth. On tape. Pulled out my phone. Hidden in my purse. Recording. His laugh was bitter. Truth? Fine. Yeah. I covered for Jake that night. Dad was collateral business risk. But you? You were there. Saw nothing. Amnesia suits you. Cold calculation in his eyes. The lawyer dissecting prey. And Mom? We planned the will because she was draining us. Cancer's expensive.
Ev. Selfish.
Even.
Selfish.
The word ignited something primal. I leaned in, voice low. You left her to die alone. Signed her death warrant for a startup scam. His smirk faltered. Prove it.
Oh.
I would. As he ranted, details spilling like sewage, the forged signatures, the hospice oversight, the recorder caught every damning syllable. You're done, Tyler. Both of you. He lunged across the table, knocking over glasses. But I was faster, knee to his gut, bolting for the door. Barflies hooted. The bartender called cops. By the time sirens wailed, I was blocks away. Audio file uploading to a secure cloud. Leaked to a PI I'd hired on the sly, ex-cop, hungry for corruption cases. The dominoes teetered. Home was sanctuary, but tension coiled tight. Mom's chemo rounds improved, color returned to her cheeks. Enough for walks in Discovery Park. Evergreens whispering under Puget Sound's salt breeze. We talked, really talked, for the first time. About Dad's laugh. Her regrets. My buried trauma. Therapy? Eva, she urged one foggy afternoon, gulls wheeling overhead. Unpack it before it unpacks you. I nodded. But revenge was my therapy. Dark and unyielding. The backlash hit like a storm surge. Jake's emails, please turning to threats, you'll regret this.
Sis.
Family sticks. Tyler's legal maneuvers, restraining order attempts. Painting me as erratic. But the audio dropped anonymously to a local blogger. Seattle whistleblower. And shit exploded. Headline screamed, Tech brothers accused of fraud. Family cover-up in fatal crash. Investors fled. Lawsuits piled. Jake called from a burner. You destroyed us. Sobbing. Broken. Part of me pitied the boy I'd once adored, the one who'd built forts with me as kids. But pity dies when betrayal festers. Then the controversial call, expose the crash fully, or let it simmer. Full exposure meant dragging Dad's name through mud, drunk driver myth shattered. But the cover-up laid bare. Reporters would swarm. Mom's privacy shredded. I paced the apartment, a phone in hand, the blogger's contact burning. Mom watched from the couch, wise eyes knowing. What would hurt them most? Baby? Or heal us? Her question hung, a mirror to my soul. I chose hurt with a twist. Leaked the crash details selectively, to the DA's office, not the press. Cold case reopened, manslaughter charges brewing. No spectacle, just the slow grind of justice. Controversial? Hell yes, vigilante's gonna vigilante. And I didn't care about the purists crying due process. This was personal. American as apple pie and road rage. Tyler's countermove was vicious, a smear campaign. Anonymous posts on Reddit's r/Seattle, Eva Harlan, unhinged gold digger sabotaging family. Doctored photos, me at the bar starting fights. It stung. Isolation creeping as friends ghosted. Whispers at my barista job turning to stares. But I doubled down. Quitting to focus. Nursing courses online. Prepping to care for Mom full-time. Independence was my armor. The high point came mid-August. Mom's scans showing remission glimmers. We celebrated with crab at Ivor's. Waterfront view sparkling under rare sun. To second chances, she toasted, glasses clinking. I smiled. But shadows loomed, Jake's silence too long. Tyler's filing stacking. Then the break-in. 2 a.m. Glass shattering downstairs. I grabbed the baseball bat by the bed. Heart thundering. Shoving Mom into the closet. Footsteps creaked, 2 sets. Eva?
Come out.
We just want to talk. Jake's voice.
Slurred.
Tyler. Hand over the journal.
Bitch.
Rage overrode fear. I swung low, cracking Jake's knee. He howled. Tyler charged, fist glancing my jaw. We grappled, fists, curses, the bat skittering away. Mom screamed from the closet. Stop, my boys. It froze us all. Tyler recovered first, pinning me. End this.
Eva.
Or she pays. Jake limped over. Face twisted, hatred, but something broken underneath.
Why?
We were family. I spat blood. Laughing. Family doesn't leave Mom to die alone. The sirens, neighbors' call, scattered them like roaches. Cops came. Statements taken. Mom emerged shaking, but fierce. I heard everything. We hugged amid the chaos. Her whisper. Press charges. All of it. Dawn broke gray. But lighter. The fracture line widened. Their empire teetered on abyss. Weeks ground on. Legal wars raging. I testified in depositions. Voice steady. Audio playing like a dirge. Jake cracked first, plea deal. Spilling on Tyler's bribes. Manslaughter for him. Fraud for both. Tyler fought dirty to the end, hiring scum to tail me, until the PI flipped him. Evidence mounting like snow in the Cascades. But the real tension brewed internal. Therapy sessions unearthed more. My enabling wasn't just amnesia. I'd craved their approval. The successful siblings' halo. Mom shared her own regrets, shielding them too long, fearing the monster she'd birthed in grief. We're all flawed. Eva. But we choose redemption. The controversial pivot offered Jake a lifeline. Not forgiveness, accountability. Anonymous note. Confess publicly. Get leniency. Save what's left.
He did.
On a tear-streaked video to the press, I killed my father. Betrayed my mother. My sister. She saved us from ourselves. Viral overnight. Apex dissolved. But Jake entered rehab. Tyler prison-bound. Mom's health rallied. Walks turned to hikes.
Me?
Scars lingered. But purpose bloomed. Advocacy for elder abuse victims. My story fueling blogs. Yet doubt whispered. Was this vengeance or justice? The line blurred. Thrilling and terrifying. October's chill seeped through Seattle's bones. Leaves carpeting Queen and streets in fiery decay. Mom's remission held. Miracle or grit? Who cared? And we marked it with pumpkin pie on the porch. Steam curling into the crisp air. But peace was a lie. The reckoning loomed. A storm front rolling in from the courthouse. Tyler's trial started Monday. Jake's sentencing the week after. I'd clawed us here. But the costs gnawed. Fractured family photos gathering dust. My trust in ashes. Revenge tasted sweet at first. Now it's soured. Demanding I confront the wreckage. The DA called me as a witness. Prepping over coffee in a sterile conference room. Your testimony seals it. Ines. Harlan. Fraud. Conspiracy. The crash cover-up. I nodded. But inside, the controversial itch flared. Full throttle meant crucifying Tyler publicly, every bribe, every sneer on record. Or mercy's edge, let him rot quietly. Focus on healing. Mom's advice echoed. Hurt them. Yes. But don't become them. Easy to say when you hadn't felt the void of death. Trial day dawned slick with rain. The courthouse loomed, all marble and judgment, Protesters milling outside, tech activists decrying witch hunts, victims' families clutching signs for justice.
Inside.
The gallery hummed. Reporters. Jake in a cheap suit 2 rows back, eyes downcast. Tyler entered shackled, suit tailored but spirit frayed, hollow cheeks. Lawyer's poise cracked. Our eyes met, his narrowed, promising hell. I took the stand. Oath sworn. Voice steady as the audio played, his bar rant. Venom distilled. Cross-examination was a slaughter. His attorney, a slick East Coast import, painted me villain. MS. Harlan, isn't it true you fabricated evidence out of spite? A history of mental instability. The jury shifted. Jake winced. I leaned into the mic. Unflinching. Spite? Try survival. My brother confessed to killing our father, then left our mother to die alone in a hospital bed. Call that instability, I call it awakening. Gasps rippled. The judge banged gavel. Tyler's glare burned, but cracks showed sweat beading, hands trembling. Recess brought Jake slinking over. Whispers urgent. Ev. Drop it. He's our blood.
Blood.
The word mocked. Blood that spilled Dad's? That forged Mom's will. He deflated, mumbling, I hate what we became. Rehab's helping pleas. Controversial mercy tugged. Commute his plea. Let him rebuild. But no, the twist hit mid-whisper. A bailiff handed me a note from Tyler's cell. Read after verdict. Cryptic. Baiting. Verdict dropped like thunder. Guilty on all counts. Manslaughter accessory. Fraud. Elder neglect. 20 years. Minimum. The gallery erupted. Tyler lunged at the bar, screaming, You fucking traitor. Eva. Deputies wrestled him down, but his eyes locked on mine, pure venom. Jake bolted, sobs echoing. Outside. Rain lashed, reporters swarmed. MS. Harlan, any comment on family betrayal? I pushed through. Justice isn't betrayal. It's overdue. Home was haven. Mom waiting with tea and tissues. You did good, baby. We cried, relief. Grief tangled. But the note burned in my pocket. That night, alone, I unfolded it. Tyler's scrawl. Jagged. You think you won? Check the safe deposit box. Dad's real secret, not ours.
Love. Bro.
Love. The irony curdled. Next day, with Mom's blessing, I hit the bank, vault cold, air stale. Box 472, Dad's name. My key fitting like fate. Inside, letters, photos, a thumb drive. Heart pounding. I scanned in a private room. Letters from 2015. Dad to a lawyer, confessing embezzlement from his firm, million siphon for Jake's early ventures. Mom knew, covered with her savings. Photos, Dad with a mistress, young and laughing, me oblivious at 15. The drive, emails, Dad grooming Tyler for the family business, fraud from the start. The twist gutted me. Our family's rot wasn't Jake and Tyler's invention, it was Dad's legacy. Passed like a poisoned heirloom. Mom had shielded us all, taking blame for Dad's crash to bury his crimes. I'd repressed, not just the accident, but the whispers, the late nights, the business trips. We'd all enabled. A chain of silence. Confronting Mom that evening. Pie cooling on the counter. Why hide it?
She sighed.
Aged anew. Love blinds.
Eva.
He was flawed, but ours
Telling you.
would have broken the illusion. Broken. Like us now. But in the fracture, light seeped, truth's brutal gift. Jake's sentencing was quieter. A plea-reduced 5 years probation. Community service. He faced me outside. Rain slicked. The box? I knew. Hated him for it. Confessions flood. His pills started post-crash. Guilt's escape. Tyler's ruthlessness. Dad's echo. We became him to survive him. I didn't forgive. Not yet, but nodded. Rebuild. Without the lies. Months unfurled. Seasons shifting. Mom thrived volunteering at hospice, turning pain to purpose. I finished nursing school, specializing in elder care. My story anonymized in journals, from betrayal to advocacy. Jake checked in sporadically clean, starting a legit nonprofit for crash victims. Tyler, letters from prison. First rage. Then regret. You were right. Rot starts small. I burn most. Kept one, reminder that monsters are made,
Not born.
the final controversial act, the public tell-all. Not for fame, but catharsis, a memoir outline leaked to the blogger, framing our saga as cautionary, family fortunes, when loyalty kills. Debates raged, forums ablaze on privacy versus
Truth.
enraging purists who decried exploitation. Screw em. This was my hook back to life. Raw and unapologetic. Thanksgiving dawned golden. Improbable sun gilding the table. Just mom and me, no brothers, no ghosts. Turkey carved. Stories swapped, not of betrayal, but resilience. To what comes next, she toasted. I clinked, throat tight. Death had given me this, a redo, scarred but whole. As snow dusted the sound that Christmas, I stood on the bluff, wind whipping, feeling the echo fade. Revenge wasn't the end, it was the forge. I'd hammered us anew, flawed, fierce,
Free.
and in that American grit, under endless skies, I finally breathed easy.